As you've seen in the last video, I have pretty much all the underside preparation done, all to the masking, and now I'm about to heat up the Waxoyl. So I was just looking at the back instructions and it says it should be warmed up in hot water for no less than 30 minutes. So a bit longer than I was expecting, but at least I have a good bit of time in advance while I'm masking to do that. So what I have is my kettle here, and going to put it in this. Just boiled it. So I'll leave that there for a while. I might fill it up a bit more yet, and then maybe in 10 or 15 minutes I might change out the water for fresh boiling water again. A lot of preparation goes into this. Definitely the levels I'm going to, it takes quite a bit of time. Even this morning I'm at it since 9:30, and it is what time now? 1:15. With very little interruption in between, just wire brushing down around the shocks and making sure that everything is as good as it can be. And yeah, I'm about to go downstairs again now, and it is masking time. Current state of the Civic, it is now wrapped all in plastic, and I'm getting ready to cut out the different sections I don't want. For example, I'll be cutting along the wheel arch here, masking it, and the excess bit will be used to cover the brakes and caliper and all of that I don't want to get covered in Waxoyl. And I'm about to start doing that. I'm getting ready now for final preparation so I can get the Waxoyl on. So just tighten it like that, put into it, and then I'm able to the shape how I want it. Like that. And that gives you an idea of what I'll be doing. I'll be covering off the brakes, and I'll be folding the plastic up in and around and covering any areas I don't want to, but I'll have full access to that. I don't have to worry about getting any Waxoyl on the panels. So I'll be giving you little clips coming in and out as I go, but I'm going to tear into this now and get it done as quick as I can. This is the current situation of it. I have a lot of it masked now. This is the first brake one that I have covered off, and the flexible brake hoses, I'll just shine a light in that, I've also covered off. And it's starting to look much better. The Waxoyl is thinning out with the heat. I have 2 rounds now pretty much done. When I say 2 rounds, I mean hot water, kettle boiling, letting it steep up in the sink, and I'll probably do a 3rd one, and I've shook it in between each one as well to give it the best possible chance of flowing right. So that's how that's sitting. I'm going to cover the floor as well, so any drips that come off it don't stick to the floor. And this is the next area I'm doing here, so I'll be covering the lower part of the engine and the upper gap there that we have in at the steering rack. Be covering off them areas. I was going to do the bonnet at the same, under the bonnet, the back of the bulkhead is rusty as well. I was going to do that at the same time, but I just don't see the benefit of it when I can cover it off like this. I'll do that separately another time. and it'll be easier to just isolate that and do it. So I'm gonna just focus on the bottom side of it and the arches and get it all done. Cover that off, cover off the radiator, leave this exposed. But you get the general idea of what way I'm shaping it now. Don't know how much I'll be spraying up here, but I will be spraying on the lower side of the shock and probably the lower side of the coil spring. What I'm interested to see is, I'll be using a Schutz gun. I haven't bought a gun directly for this job. I know there is Waxoyl specific guns out there, but I kind of hope that the Schutz gun that I have, I have two different types of Schutz guns, but one of them will certainly be suitable. So yeah, I'll get a test panel of some type, and then I will be checking different air pressures and giving it a once back and once over and seeing what type of spray pattern I'm getting depending on the pressures I'm using. So that's the plan of action. More masking to do. But all the cleaning is now done, all the air blow off is done, all the crevices are done. There is a few rubber like that caps on the underside that I need to take out, but other than that it's pretty much good to go. So that is it for now. I will check in with you a little bit later on. I'm going to give you a walkthrough now of how it's all shaping up and the levels I've gone to in masking preparation. So just the front here, covered off the radiator, masked the horn. This casing doesn't matter because that's just protecting the wires, so it's all good to go over that. I'm going to blacken that completely across. On this side here I've masked and left the areas that I want to get the Waxoyl on. On this side I've covered off in around the power steering rack area, covered off. You can see there the drive shaft, covered that back. I still have to do the drive shaft on the other side. This covered off. Complete vehicle is covered. Back here, I've covered pretty much of all of the amount of tank that I need to. I'll put this up in the air and give you a better view. And that is that. Put it up in the air now and I'll give you a look underneath. It's up in the air now and I'm just giving you a final walkthrough before I start to get the Waxoyl on it. So as you can see, all in here has been cleaned. I have masked up around the side skirt. Just folded the plastic up under there. I'll just wrap a bit of tape on the lower edges of the lift to protect that as well. But I really think you can see the levels of preparation that I have done on this to get it as good as possible for this. Tiny bit more there, maybe tiny bit. I popped out the rubber grommets that's in all these, so I'll be able to spray in there too. Covered the engine, exhaust, manifold, gearbox, all covered over, and I'll be spraying up to the top side on that. So the masking is all done. I'm pretty much ready to go, and any bits like this I'm just going to have cardboard that I can rest up against it and spray at the same time. So I'll just pop cardboard up there and then spray at the same time. So I'm not going to do any more masking. There's no need. And that is it. Finally ready to put some Waxoyl on this and get this underbody sealed, get the arches sealed, and get it looking as good as it possibly can. I'm going to make this into a two-part, and I'm going to end the video here simply because I have so much footage already, and if I was to edit both of them together, it would be extremely long. In the part 2 of this, you'll get to see the Waxoyl going on, and also you get to see what it looks like afterwards. So you'll see it being applied and when it dries out, how it looks. So that is it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you in the next one.